Good morning. It's a cloudy, cool day, a little breezy, little rain looks like coming our way. I haven't really felt comfortable letting my young birds out today, my babies that I'm training. So I figured I could do a little video and show y'all some of the things I use to train, help me train my birds with tools of the trade, if you will. Uh, Hopefully I'll be able to give you an example and stuff, but we'll see how it goes. So y'all bear with me. I'm gonna flip this around. Maybe. Okay. So we'll just start off here with a training stick. I just use that thing, to kind of walk the birds out with, and I use it to slap up against my siding or something. If I'm wanting to make a loud noise to scare them off, I just slap it, and I use it, to help me walk the birds where I can't reach them or what have you. It's just it's not a necessary tool, but it's something I use occasionally. In the loft, walking them out the door and such. The next two items here are hoops, and if you look at them here, they just look like a hula hoop, if you will. And I made them out of PEX pipe. I believe that's 1/2 inch PEX pipe, and I got the fittings and the pliers that crimps the fittings on and stuff, and I just built them. And they're a little smaller. They're a little smaller than a hula hoop is, but not much. And I'm sure you could get a hula hoop and it'd just work fine. But these are weighted with that fitting there, so it gives me a little better weight to launch them up. And what I do is I walk around in the yard. I'm gonna try to set this thing down so I can give you an example here. I walk around in the yard with them in my hand, and as the birds are flying, I walk around underneath them with my two hoops in my hands. The whole time that they're up there flying, the young birds, and I'm wanting them to have some fly time, I have these in my hand, and I'm walking underneath them right there in that little dirty spot. If y'all can see how it's walked out there, that's from me walking around back and forth underneath the birds. And I have these in my hand the whole time walking, and I'll launch them up. I'll just throw them up, underneath them, while they're up at a good height, where the hoops just barely come underneath them, so that they're not in the landing mode. I want them to know that they need to stay up at that height to stay away from these. And if they're coming down in landing mode and they're going to land, I don't really mess with them much, because I don't want them landed in the neighbor's yard, on the neighbor's barn or something. So let me see if I can give you a little example out here. So I'm walking around out here with my hoops, and I'll just throw them up like this right here. I put a little backspin on them. Hopefully they'll come back, but if not, I'll walk them down. But when they're flying around, I'll throw that hoop up. And that's how I work them, with the hoops. So that being, there's my little guard dog. I had her locked in a portion of my loft, and she didn't like it. Okay, so these are shrub rakes or brush rakes. You can get them at Walmart for like $5 to $10. And this tall one here is how they look at Walmart. And what I've done here with these short ones is I just cut off, I guess, about, 20 inches off of them, so that they would be extensions of my arms when I'm in my kit box area or outside of here. See if I can get that camera to stay. Or if I'm out here waiting, for the birds to go in, and they're not going in, I walk them with these things. They're just extensions of my arms. Wherever I need a little taller, longer arm, that's where these come in handy. I don't know if I can give you a good example here or not, but we'll try. Okay, when they're up on top of the kit box, I'm away from them, and I'm holding these things up, and I'm just working them real slow with these. I bring them around this way, let them know not to come this way, just like whenever I'm trying to catch a bird. You know, I walk up on them slowly but surely, walking them toward the trap. And that's what these are. And inside the kit box area, the same thing. If I'm trying to walk them out of the kit box, I'll reach inside the kit box, walk them out, and I'll use this as a deterrent because I don't want them to go to my left. I want them to come out of the kit box and go out the release door. So I'm shaking this one like this and walking them out the kit door or the kit box with this one. And so that's the extensions of my arms, the brush rakes at Walmart. Okay, then we got this next one is about a 6-foot lunge whip. You can't see it real good right there maybe, but you get them at Tractor Supply. And again, it's a training tool for the birds whenever they're out. They're out, you already got them out, and you're wanting them to walk them around a little bit. You can use it just as an extension of your arm, holding the whip part of it. Let me get back here a little bit. Holding the whip part of it close to the stick, and then just reaching up there and tapping on the roof. You know, walking them toward the trap. You know, where you can't reach, you just use it, walk them toward the trap. And also, if they're on the roof and they're further away from you, you can go ahead and let that string out there, and then, you know, lightly, slowly walk them by slapping that string on your roof and just walking them toward the trap. Okay, now that's whenever you're just wanting them to go in and such like that. Now, whenever you're wanting them to go up, you can use this same tool, this same lunge whip, and you can slap it real hard on your roof, you know, and spook them up with it, you know. And then whenever they're out flying around, you can come underneath them, you know, and just twirl it, make that whip fly through the air, make a little whipping sound, and you know, slapping it on the roof every time you get a chance, or you can crack it off, you know. It sounds like a 22 going off. And just do that, you know, while you're walking underneath them, while they're up there flying, you know. Get that little pop in the air, you know, let them know, hey, don't come down yet. You know, a little spook, if you will. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna look at, we're around again. This is the same thing, basically. This is an old whip that I've had for years. It's done had a few introductions to the lawnmower and stuff, but I call this the Booger Man. And the birds don't ever see this whip. I keep it hidden from them at all times because I don't want them getting used to seeing this. That's just survey tape zip tied to the end of my lunge whip. And whenever I'm trying to get them birds up and going, I'll bring out the Booger Man. And man, are they scared of this thing? I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I'll flip it around. Yeah, this little thing right there just scares the daylights out of them. And it's the same thing. You just flip it up there at them. You know, they're on top of the roof. You know, you just flip it up there at them. You know, real quick. A little quick snap. Throw it just like you would throw a ball up there. You know, but you ain't got to chase the ball. You know, this comes back, you know, like that. And you can do the same thing. Whenever they get up and going, you come underneath them. But any pressure you put underneath your birds while they're up flying, these babies, don't go overboard. Because they will find them another place to land, and you don't want that. So a little goes a long way. And so the Booger Man, like I said, is just survey tape to the lunge whip, and man, it works real good. Okay, so let's see what else we got over here. All right, so now I'm going to show y'all. See if y'all can see this. This is just a regular old tube sock with a baseball in it, and a bunch of you old school guys have seen this and done it plenty of times, but I don't use it as often as I once did. But it's just a baseball inside a tube sock, and the same principle as the hoops. You know, if you're in the city, you could use something like this in a tight backyard where maybe the hoops might be a little, you know, rough, maybe getting stuck in trees and such. And let me grab these and show you real quick. Why I see them here. These are just a smaller version of the hoops. I get these on Amazon. My little grandson comes out here and these are his little hoops, but they may work for you, you know, in a small area. You know, they just throw them up there and just a little something different flying at them spooks them. And helps them, you know, stay up in the air a little longer. So anyway, back to the tube stock and the baseball. So you just grab this sucker and you just throw it up in the air, you know, and it looks like a bird or something coming up at them, and then they'll go on up. But always remember, a little bit goes a long way anytime you're putting pressure from underneath, because they will go somewhere else. Alrighty. So this is probably, well, I got a couple of things here. You know, we talked about the feed can. We talked about the feed can, and it's the same thing, you know, inside, when I showed y'all inside of the kit box. When I showed y'all inside of the kit box, it's the same thing outside. You know, late of an evening, birds coming down, but they're not wanting to land. You know, that little whistle, you know, that I do. Here's my whistle. It's and shaking that feed can, making that feed can noise, you know, to help bring them on down. So you know, a good tool of the trade, feed can, you know, the noise and the whistle. And then last but not least is the Cuban thief powder. Is what I use. My buddy turned me on to this breed, using it for a dropper, and they use them in racing homers to get the pigeons to land. They'll throw this little guy up there, and he's real aggressive, and they call them Casanovas actually sometimes, and because they just blow up on a bird. Whenever the bird lands, this guy starts driving them immediately, you know, just driving them. He's wanting to mate up. And over in I think it's France or somewhere on YouTube, you can find it. They have a competition with these guys where they go let their birds out, and they go steal another bird and bring it back. But they blow up, start courting on the bird, and the bird, you know, wants to go in a trap and get away from that pressure, you know. So these guys work real good. A white one, you know, real visible, is what I prefer. And my buddy, he uses one for his rollers, and that's where I seen it at. And his would just go up to the garage, come down to the little landing board area, and just strut the whole time, back and forth. So I got me one and finally trained it, and mine would go to the roof, and to the roof of my shed, and then back down to my kit box and across, is back and forth and strutting. So it worked really well for me. I put the two that I had up and started breeding out of them, so I'm gonna have to retrain one. I got a baby in this young bird team right now. So the Cuban thief powder, the dropper, such a tool. I'll try to get more footage on how this little guy works for us, and can help us with that late night when them birds ain't wanting to land. You throw this guy up, and he'll drop them on down for you. So that's a little bit on the tools of the trade. And I know it's probably rough footage, but I did the best I could without a camera guy. And I want to thank all of y'all for y'all's support. As always, hope this video helps somebody. And like, share, subscribe, and help me get the word out there. And I'll talk to y'all on the next episode. Bye.